goddamn tired of being the fifth wheel or the third wheel. And I like got into it with my friend today. And she was like, well, it's a lose-lose. Either they don't invite you and then you're hurt because you're left out, or invite you and you're the third or the fifth wheel.
Women have realized that they messed up. Today's video comes from Circle of Kings. Their channel will be linked in the description of the video. You have a lot of women who are breaking down and crying on social media now because men are walking away and they're finding that they are single, childless, and absolutely miserable. Watch the end of the video to fully understand the implications this will have for women going forward into society. And now let's just go ahead and jump right into the video.
I'm just over it. I'm exhausted by it. I'm like fucking tired of it. I'm tired of feeling like the loser who doesn't have someone. I'm tired of feeling like the person who like doesn't know how to like grow up and move on with their life. I'm tired of feeling like shame because like no one's chosen me, or I haven't found somebody that like, and like for the most part I feel like I'm good and I don't really like, you know, stress about it. But every now and again it just hits me when I'm just like, yep, my plans this weekend include being the fifth wheel to multiple dinners, parties, happy hours. And it's not a big deal. I have like a million things going for me, but sometimes it.
When you think about this right now, currently only 1 out of every 1,000 men are getting married. You have these videos on social media, very often from thoughts, who are basically celebrating empowerment by posting racy photos of themselves on Only Fools and OnlyFans while busting it wide open for $6 a month and saying that now they are high value women because they have a large following of simps that are willing to pay for play. This is a very sad society and reality we now live in that women have created for themselves. Women cultivated all of this, and now they're finding themselves childless, single, and alone, or if they do have children, they're still single, hence they are now single moms. It's a painful reality. It's a hard reality. And of course, you have a lot of women who double down on it. They start laughing about it on social media while they're crying themselves to sleep. And some women, they may not even completely notice it because they're still living off the simp economy. And they'll run out there, they'll find some guy to hook up with very quickly, because that's these single moms are able to find guys they'll hook up with them very quickly. So in fact, they have like a list, they have a book, they have it on their phones, they have guys that they'll immediately message and say, hey, come over.
Because like it's a fucking Saturday night and I'm sat indoors on my own. I've got to go and pick my mum and dad up because they've got a fucking better life than me. Oh, I don't know why I'm so upset about it. I think it's because I text my friends and they're like with their boyfriends and I'm like, okay, cool. Oh well. So I'm just gonna cry into my wine. I was talking to somebody the other day, and do you remember at school when you used to say, oh, when I'm 25 I'm gonna be married with kids? Well, I'm not. I'm fucking single. Do you know what worries me? I'm like, where am I ever going to meet someone when I just spend my weekends sitting in my fucking bedroom? Because they're not going to run through the door with fucking flowers and sweep me off my feet, are they? No.
You know what's intriguing? Women will tell this young woman, stop crying, honey, or cry if you have to, but understand, do not compromise. Stop playing games. You're only going to end up with a man who you do not want. You need to have high standards. You need to stick it out and tough it out. Be strong, okay? Do not settle for these broke men. Do not settle for these men who do not bring you the value that you want, all right? And if they bring up God, they'll start saying that God is going to get you that man, but you need to have faith that God is going to get you the man that you want, the exact man you want, right down to the T, all right? There are 8 billion people on this planet. Half of them are men. And you're telling me that your perfect man does not exist out there? That's the delusion that they're going to continue to fill into the minds of these young women. And these women are going to buy it, and they're going to go, yeah, you're right, because that's what they want to hear. So they're not going to confront reality. They don't like reality. They don't care about facts. They shape their own reality based on feelings. So they will choose the feelings that they enjoy the most, and they will go along with those. So for example, oh, the idea of finding the perfect guy that meets everything that I say he should be, and then some, that makes me feel good. So that's the guy I'm going to go with, you know? And it's, first versus a guy who has a stable job, who is, is relatively in good health and a variety of other things. They don't want that guy because they want this perfect being. And here's the kicker. Here's the really sad thing about all of it. When they get this man, when they get this perfect man who has all of these qualities, he's 6'4", he has a six pack, he makes more than six figures and all of these things, and he's going to be like their best friend and listen to them and do everything that they ask for and everything that they tell him to do, and he gets along with their family and all of the stuff, then they're going to turn around and cheat on him. This is the reality. This is what, guys, I have a lot of very handsome men on my channel. I've got a lot. I see their profile pictures. I've got men who are ripped, tall, big abs, making money, millionaires. And these men are on this channel for a reason. Because these men are discovering that they were plan B guys. This is the thing, that if you are all of these things, this is the hardest thing. That's why they come to Uncle Angry, because they don't understand. They don't understand how they're getting fucked so hard. And then they have to come and find Uncle Angry that explains it to them. Like, bro, you were never her first choice. The reality is that you were her plan B guy, all right? You are her plan B guy. You are her ideal plan B guy, but you will never be enough for her because she will always monkey branch. She never loved you. She will never love you. The guys that she actually loves are the guys who can't do shit for her and have nothing to lose. The guys that do not have a six-pack. The guys that are not very good looking. The guys that may even smell bad. The guys that have no money and no real aspirations or futures. Those are the men that she loves because those men are fun. Those men are exciting. Those men spend their lives just basically in the streets. And what does she love? What is inside of every little girl? The streets. And unless she is conditioned to not go in that direction, I had a guy who told me he has a son and a daughter. Daughter is 12 years old. He's a single father, I believe. This was a while back. He might be watching right now. And what did he say to me? He said, "You're absolutely right. All right. These girls definitely have the streets inside. The streets are definitely calling out to them." 12-year-old daughter. Streets are calling out to her. 12. How much do you have to be as a father? How much does your heart have to break when you're dealing with a 12-year-old and she's already engaged in this type of behavior?
And then I'm like, oh, I don't just want to go out for the sake of going out. Do you know what I mean? Like on the fucking prowl for a man. Because I wouldn't do that. But I'm like, where do I expect to meet someone? Hinge. Well, look what happened there. I just can't do it. I actually can't.
Yeah. Look what happened there, right? In other words, she went on there, found a Chad, found a Tyrone, had some fun, got the back blown out. And in the end, it was a toxic relationship. And now she's looking for a man to subsidize her living, to take care of her. Basically like a wife, while she brings nothing of value to the table while believing that she is the most valuable thing in the world. I mean, it's sick. It's ridiculous.
I just feel sad for myself. Why am I crying? This is ridiculous. I don't even cry, really. Like, I haven't cried in ages.
I mean, guys, they made these terrible decisions. They said that they wanted to run off and have excitement. Look at Tia Mari. She left her husband, a very good man, famous guy, wealthy guy, for what? For the streets. And now she looks so shameful, posting these terrible videos on social media, of her engaged in very degenerate acts, booty pics and all this stuff, and using her children as props. I mean, it's sick and it's pathetic, okay? And this is the reality that we now live in. Social media and the environment around us has definitely had a terrible impact on women, their mental state, the way that they view reality, and the fact that they live their entire lives online and believe that their online life is a reflection of the reality around them and how the world actually works. It's sickening. this is only going to lead to more women living in states of destitution, poverty, and um, and facing considerable hardships as they continue to get older, and they discover that much older than they're now much older than they even realized. Their options have gone down. There are fewer men who actually want to be in a relationship with them. There are fewer Plan B guys that are available to them. You have women in their 40s and 50s going back to the streets, using Instagram and these apps to find guys, including a lot of young guys, to hook up with. And then they feel like they're just going to pick and choose from any high value man. In some cases, after they were already married and left their husbands, good men as well, they think they're going to go and find men who are better than their husbands. All right, better than in many cases, better than men who are making six figures already. This is crazy. This is crazy. And then what do you find these women? How do you find these women in the state? Basically, they're crying. They're alone. They're older. They're crying. They're drinking boxed wine, and they have cash. This is the guys. You know what stocks we should be investing in? Like I've been meaning to talk about it. Oh my gosh, y'all. Oh my gosh. Invest in Petco. Y'all think it's a game. Invest in Petco and look at other stuff, and then invest in Petco and invest in companies that not only sell these things, but also invest in the companies that make them, like that make animal food products like cat food. You want to invest in the companies that make the products. Don't just invest in the companies that sell the products. You want to invest in the companies that make the products. Invest in the companies that make cat food. Invest in the companies that make dog food. Invest in the companies that make boxed wine. Yes, that's where the money is at. And also look at their competitors, companies that are just trying to come up, that actually, like, forget about NVIDIA. You want to look at the competitors of Petco. You want to look at the competitors of the companies that are making dog food and cat food and alternatives, because this stuff is getting very expensive and hyperinflation. So they're going to need to be able to feed these pets, and they're going to have to downgrade sometimes and go for the cheapest food that they can, or the best food they can get for their pets that is also affordable, because they can barely afford to feed themselves. All right, they really can't even afford to feed themselves. So you should be looking at those are the stocks you should be looking at, because you're going to have hundreds of millions of women alone, hungry, alone, miserable, and the only companionship they're going to have are their pets. So they're going to be spending all of that money on their pets and boxed wine. Because guys, women are the ones responsible for prohibition, and they're also the ones responsible for ending prohibition, because they couldn't live anymore without getting drunk. You see, if it was up to women, when prohibition went into effect, it would not have affected women, it would only affect men. If women had their way, women would keep that's society we live in now. Women have special privileges while men get special punishments. And if women had their way, it would work like that for everything. Women would be the ones to vote. Men would not be allowed to vote. Women would be the ones allowed to drink. Men would not be allowed to drink. Maybe they'd be allowed to drink if a woman was with them, like a parent or a guarantor, and she authorized them to have a drink. They don't want men to have any rights whatsoever. No rights, no real privileges. Everything has to go through a woman, even their speech. That's why they don't want male-dominated spaces, because they want to control our ideas. They want to control our thoughts. They want to control our bodies. They want to control our money. These are people who view us as less than human. All right, we are hated more than the cockroach. Never forget that. These are the types of people that we are dealing with. People who are absolutely hate us, do not like us, just want our attention, time, and money. And when we present a viable response to what they're doing, they will use sign language, shame, insults, guilt, gaslighting, nagging, because they need to be right. That's how they operate. We are dealing with people who are spiritually wicked and extraordinarily immoral. Do not forget that the Jezebel spirit does not just inhibit men and does not just inhibit women, it also inhibits men. All right, it is a terrible spirit, and it is running wild through Western society, and a lot of women today are struggling with that Jezebel spirit. It is this wicked spirit of Queen Jezebel, who, even when she knew that she could repent, she refused to repent until the end of the end for her. All right, guys? Women are going to find themselves in extraordinary amounts of destitution, and many will never repent because their egos are too big. If you're enjoying the content, subscribe to our newsletter for my personal thoughts, insights, and a free copy of my new guide, the Digital Nomad Blueprint. Click the link in the description to get your free copy. Also, guys, subscribe to the Angry Guy Clips channel, where we post shorter videos and video responses, and also the Angry Guy Live channel, where we live stream. Both channels are linked in the description. What do you guys think regarding all of this? Women have realized that they messed up. Let me know your thoughts, and we'll talk about it in the comments. Like the video if you like it. Don't forget to subscribe, and if you like the video, share the video. And just remember that all roads lead to MWA, men walking away. And cheers.